So today I'm interested to present to you the main causes of the Second World War. The main causes were the political ones, the economic ones, and the territorial ones. We will start with the political ones. Totalitarian ideas by Hitler were accepted easier due to the emulation of the past Treaty of Versailles and him his confidence in the elections of the parliament. In October 1936, they signed the Pact of Berlin-Rome with Italy. Then, in October, Japan joined too. In May 1939, they signed the Pact of Steel with Italy too. In August of the same year, they signed another pact with the Soviets called the German-Soviet Pact. It is an agreement which secured the neutrality of the Soviet Union in the invasion of Poland, but it had a secret part, and that was the distribution of Poland and the Balkan states, except Lithuania, Finland, and Bessarabia. This pact shows us the imperialist ideas of totalitarian regimes. Two antagonist systems, one communist and one anti-communist, agreed to broaden their borders at the expense of a third country, Poland. Now we will go with the economic causes. So, in the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was obliged to pay a big amount of money to the winning countries for the reparations of the war. That prevents and plunged into serious economic crisis, with a high rates of unemployment and social and political conflicts. This situation worsened by the development of the crisis of 1929. In the territorial causes, on March 1936, Germany armed Rhineland, a zone considered as a demilitarized zone by the Treaty of Versailles, and built the Siegfried Line. The Society of Nations and the European democracies did not sanction the actions. In 1938, Hitler was determined to recover the old German territory, so he recovered Austria to a German province called Anschluss, and few years after the assassination of Austrian Chancellor Dollfuss for a Nazi comment. In October of the same year, he occupied Sudeten, alleging that in this Czech region where more than 3 million Germans lived. France and Britain accepted this and the Munich Conference, believing this could stop German expansionist cravings. But let's be honest, it didn't. In March 1939, occupied the rest of Czechoslovakia and proclaimed the Protectorate of Bohemia-Moravia. Slovakia became independent and requested the protections of the Third Reich immediately. The 1st of September in 1939, Germany invaded Poland, and on the 3rd of September, British and French governments confronted Germany to suspend the attack, and in the negative way. If Germany responds with a negative, both countries will declare the war on Germany. So these were the main causes of the Second World War and the reasons why they start the war against Germany. So thank you so much for listening, and bye.
Hello, I'm going to talk about the consequence of the Second World War. We know that there are four types of consequence, and in first place I'm going to talk about the human consequence. The most important consequence of this type was there were more than 50 million of these. It were victim of the Nazi anti-Semitic policy that it was called Final Solution. Between the year 1936 and 1939, millions of Jews emigrated over all the Europe, abandoning his property in Germany. After, at the end of 1939 and the beginning of 1945, 6 million of Jews are assassinated. In the Jews are included Romanists, Communists, and Slavic people. Also, we know that Nazis had forced these colonies from these countries. These countries were Poland, Ukraine, and Romania. In second place, I'm going to talk about economical consequence. In first place, we must know that all the European cities occupied during the Second World War were destroyed. The cost of the Second World War was the $3 million. It caused that Europe lost its economical power and depend on the grasp of USA. Also, we must know that these economic problems were led by a French politician that it was called Schuman. That this French politician proposed the creation of an organism like ESCS. And the main objective of this organism is the reconstruction of Europe. Now, I'm going to talk about the political and ideological consequence. In first place, I know that the European country lost his colonies in Asia and Africa after bloody wars of liberation. Other consequence was that the monarchy disappeared in Italy, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, Austria, with the main objective to make way for a new republic. And the most important consequence of this type was that the world was divided into two different ideological blocks. The two blocks were the communists led by the Soviet Union and the liberal capitalists that championed by the United States. And finally, I'm going to talk about the territorial consequence. In first place, I'm going to talk about that the USSR revolved his territories that he lost before. Bulgaria ceded Macedonia to Yugoslavia and the Thrace to Greece. Germany was divided into 4 zones that its zones was administered by the four allied powers. That create 2 nations would emerge: the Federal Republic of Germany and German Democratic Republics. And finally, Japan was formed to occupy part of China, and United States occupied the Pacific island. And the last consequence of the territorial consequence was that Korea was divided into 2 by the parallel 38 degrees under the Soviet Union and the north of American protection.
Organization of Peace, Conference and Treaties. Roosevelt and Churchill defeated the Africa campaign of the subsequent jump to Italy in the first meeting in Casablanca in January 1943. In August 1943, they met in Quebec to take the surrounded Italy. In October, it was decided Moscow to replace the Society of Nations with a new world organization. At the Tehran Conference, Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin decided that after the war, Japan would have to return to China, all the occupied territories, and agreed to launch Operation Overlord and to divide Germany among the Allied ones. Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin decided to divide Germany in forced occupation zones in the Yalta Conference. In Potsdam Conference was decided to create an international tribunal, the United Natural Organization. The Moscow Conference referred to need to create an international organization based on equality of all peaceful and open to all states. In San Francisco Conference was the following agreed. To achieve international peace and security by peaceful means. To defend the fundamental rights and freedom of man without distinction of sex, religion, etc. To defend the fundamental rights and freedoms of man without distinction of sex, religion, etc. Maintain the obligation arising from the treaties and other sources of international laws and justice. Promote social progress and improve living standards through the creation of appropriate bodies. The main bodies are the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Secretary General, the International Court of Justice, and the Economic and Social Council.